Hi guys, Jay Nice on the mic. This past weekend I was in Washington D.C. Um, for two reasons. The main reason why I went was actually because my best friend was having a housewarming party, and it also so happened to fall on the exact same day as the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington. So I definitely had to go to that. Um, so I just wanted to share my experiences with you guys. And a lot of people are actually, first of all, a lot of people I know didn't know that it was taking place. I actually found out about it a while ago. I kept hearing about it, I don't know, through social media maybe, but I Googled it because, I'm obsessed with Google, and I found out when it was taking place. Um, And so I went, and I got there at right when it started at 8 a.m. and I stayed until maybe 1:30. And I actually didn't march. It started getting really, really, really hot. Um, I was there with a friend, and it was so hot. We were tired because we'd been there for about 5 or 6 hours. So a lot of people, first of all, ask me why even go to the march, what the purpose is. Um, August 28th actually marks 50 years to the day when Martin Luther King um, gave his I Have a Dream speech at the Lincoln Memorial. Now, if you guys have never been to Washington, D.C., or never seen um, the Lincoln Memorial, you should definitely make a trip out there. It's beautiful. Um, so, um, I don't know the purpose. There are several purposes. Um, First of all, this is not just a commemoration of the March on Washington, but it's a continuation of the efforts that um, started out 50 years ago. So the march was actually called, and I'm actually going to refer to the National Action Network website. This is where I'm reading the information from, which is a organization started by Al Sharpton, and this is the organization that actually organized the march. But according to the website, the march was actually called the National Action to Realize the Dream March. And some of the talking points were jobs in the economy, voting rights was huge. Um, you know, there has been an attack on our voting rights, and there was a huge discussion about it. Workers' rights, um, criminal justice issues such as um, Marissa Alexander and Trayvon Martin, and the Stand Your Ground law, the legitimacy of it, women's rights, immigration, and lay, gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgendered equality, and as well as environmental justice. So there were several speakers. There were several speakers that were there. I actually got to shake Jesse Jackson's hand because he walked around. I had a really good spot because I got there early. So I actually got to shake his hand, and I have pictures that I'll include at the very end of this video. But I met a lot of really cool people um, who share the same ideals as I do. So it was a really dope to go. But several speakers. There was Martin Luther King the third, which is Martin Luther King Jr.'s son. He spoke. Al Sharpton spoke. Jesse Jackson spoke. Nancy Pelosi spoke. Um, There were so many speakers. It was amazing. And they just basically gave their opinions, proposed some solutions to to continue our fight for equality. It was definitely an amazing experience. I'm really glad that I went. And if you guys went, I would love to hear what you thought about it. Maybe you think that there's no purpose in sitting and talking, which a lot of people on my Instagram are like, what's the purpose of going? You're just gonna march and then do what? And it's just the coming together of people who share the same ideas and proposing solutions. It's not just about talking, it's about doing. It's about the action after the march. So, these are just a few of my thoughts, but let me know what you guys think, and I will check you guys out next time.
I'm delighted to be here, just as I was delighted to be here 50 years ago. Then we could not have imagined we'd be here 50 years later with a black president and a black attorney general. But still, we march. We march because Trayvon Martin has joined Emmett Till in the pantheon of young black martyrs. We march because the United States Supreme Court has eviscerated the Voting Rights Act, for which we fought and died. We march because every economic indicator shows gaping white-black disparities. We march for freedom from white supremacy. But still we have work to do. None of it is easy, but we have never wished our way to freedom. Instead, we've always worked our way. Today we have much more to work with, and we take heart that so much has changed. The changes that have come to everything the two I got, you know I have to do this movement for civil rights. We must not forget that Dr. King stood before him with thousands, the people who made the mighty movement what it was. From Jamestown slave pens to Montgomery's boycotted buses, these ordinary men and women labored in obscurity. And from Montgomery forward, they provided the foot soldiers of the Freedom Army. They shared with King an abiding faith in America. They walked in dignity rather than ride in shame. They faced bombs in Birmingham and mobs in Mississippi. They sat down in lunch counters so others could stand up. They marched and they organized. Remember, Dr. King didn't march from Selma to Montgomery by himself. He didn't speak to an empty field at the March on Washington. There were thousands marching with him and before him.
Out of a college campus, put their bodies on the line in Alabama and Mississippi. That's right. Today, we face continuing challenges.
You know it!
We want the Congress to rewrite a Voting Rights Act, and we want to protect our right to vote. There are changing laws all over this country. The Congress needs to make federal law that will get through this Congress and deal with what the Supreme Court has done. Right now in Texas, in North Carolina, in other places, they're coming with all these schemes. Voter ID. Well, we always had ID. Why do we need new ID now? We had ID when we voted for Johnson. We had ID when we voted for Nixon. We had ID when we voted for those that succeeded him, Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton. We had ID. Why, when we get to Obama, do we need what we gonna do? When we leave Washington, we get ready to march. We're gonna go to those states. We're on our way to North Carolina. We're on our way to Texas. We're on our way to Florida. And when of Medgar